Good morning. Today's Thursday. Thursday is Jupiter's day, day of expansion, blessings, luck, and excessive behavior. It's so funny when things feel good, we sort of can become excessive with them, right? Until everything good can also be bad, and that's the thing about Jupiter. Jupiter, the planet that actually governs Sagittarius as well. So we are in the balsamic phase of the moon, the dark of the moon. It's when we are most receptive, when we're most easily influenced. It's when we are really absorbing information at rapid rates, whether we know it or not. And we're not often aware of this aspect of us because we carry so much trauma, and because we live in a culture that is constantly doing whatever it can to kind of keep us stuck and in like herder to be herded, right? So the reason we're not as receptive is because our foods are filled with stuff, and the air is whatever it is, and we're just trained out of our natural ways of being. Like there's like our minds are fixed in patterns that really keep us stuck then rather than free us and allow us to be who we truly are. And so it's really important that we counteract that by doing things that are counterintuitive. So one of the things that I think it's really important for us to do is, allow ourselves, and this is a big one for me, to play, like really be playful like children, and that's challenging as adults sometimes, or a lot of times. I know it is for me, but when I can do it, it really frees me in this way that touches me at a deeper level, because there's something about, if you remember, for those of you who was raised Christian, I was raised Christian, it said, be thee as little children. There's an essence of being a child that keeps you completely present, that you're in the moment. It's something that you see. I don't watch sports at all, but when you watch a basketball game, they are in the game. They are not thinking about the dishes or their kids having to be at school the next morning, or even how, if their bills are paid in that moment, they are playing the game. And that is the power of being a child, that you are literally in the moment. And in the moment is when the magic occurs. So the moon is in Leo. Leo governs children. And so that is our experience of, if we're raising children, being able to be present with them and in the moment, but also the child within ourselves. Yesterday, I was talking to a friend of mine. It was so funny. He has two daughters, and they live with their mothers and part-time with him. And he was raised by his mother and two older sisters. And so he was telling me that in the morning when he gets his daughters up, he wakes them up at, they have to leave the house at 7:20, and he wakes them up at 7 o'clock. They bathe the night before. He has them brush their teeth, eat a little bit of breakfast, or get breakfast and eat it in the car, and leave the house within 20 minutes because he wants his daughters to be capable, to have had practice getting up and getting out of the house quickly. I just thought, and I was listening to him and I was like, you are doing this out of your own childhood patterning. Like, you're teaching your children, your daughters, to be this way because you suffered as a child waiting for your sisters to get out of the bathroom, or being late because your mother didn't get you there on time. And so now he's totally, the pendulum has swung the other way, and his children, he literally puts them on a clock to get out of the house so that when they become adults, they won't need a lot of time to prepare to get ready. Isn't that? I just thought that was so hilarious, how the human brain, or how the human mind, we will course correct things. And I thought that was really funny, just around this idea of children, and giving children patterns that will live with them throughout their adulthood, and how his belief around that pattern and that practice comes from his childhood. And so that's how we get to see who we are and what we do and how it ties into other things. And in Leo, it's about our creative self-expression. It's also about romance, like how we connect ourselves romantically to others. But how that starts at the level of our heart. So it's one of the things about children. And my son said to me yesterday, we were in Whole Foods, and he said, I have a girlfriend. And I was like, you do? And my son has Saturn in Leo. So it's Saturn in Leo really kind of oppresses that energy that for you to be open-hearted and free-spirited and childlike. And so people who have Saturn and Leo tend to be old as young ones. They tend to have a oldness within them. And so I said to him, you have a girlfriend? And he goes, yeah. And I said, well, what do you guys do? Because immediately my mind started going. And he was like, she let me put my arm around her. I was like, really? Already? And, he's 12. And so it's just this time for us to be able to lighten up and play and, be fun-loving and flirty and know that we need that is also medicine for us. This is not, when we follow these energies come alive in us and help us wake up to our natural way of being. So today is, I'm going to be having a new moon meditation. The link went out for those who are on my email list already. If you guys are not on my email list, you can sign up in my Linktree, and you'll get the email invitations to participate in the Zoom meditations that I do virtually at the time of the new moon and the full moon, so that we can plant our goals. And you can learn more about the work that I do in my private groups on Facebook with the moon work. Sorry about that. And with that in mind, I just encourage everyone to, continue to pay attention, continue to listen, do your internal work. My niece was here yesterday, and they're starting to talk about recessions in the news. So that means that, I've been talking about our world is really changing. And so as they're beginning to talk about recession, just know that is something that's coming down the pipeline. And if we're thinking about it and talking about it, it's certainly going to occur. And the thing to understand is at this time, there's something different going on in our world and in the country. And the old frequencies, the 3D realities are dying. So many people are getting uncomfortable, and the discomfort is going to get greater, likely. If you watch the movie Bird, whatever, with Sandra Bullock on Netflix, it's literally like, for those of us who are living in these dense realities, these dense thought forms, these dense belief systems, they're going to get more and more uncomfortable for us, and we'll have to shake it. We'll have to do the internal work. That's why they're saying that the suicide rates are higher than they've ever been. Why? Because the dense frequencies are harder and harder to live in, but you can do the work to ascend. And the work that I'm teaching and the work that I offer is to help us ascend, to do the work to lift our consciousnesses within ourselves. But you have to do the work internally. There's no other way to do it. And you cannot buy your way out of this. This is your work to do, and no one can do it for you. You don't have to do it alone. But everybody on the planet is doing it. It doesn't matter. Everybody on the planet is doing it. So if you're feeling something, I encourage you to find a community where you can do this kind of ascension work in, so that you can do what you need to do to create a greater sense of peace and harmony within yourself, because it's about to get tighter. It's not getting looser yet. It's getting tighter. So I encourage you to do what you need to do to take care of yourself and your community and your family. And so with that, I am Monique. I am the Moon Mama. We have a new moon coming in tonight, I believe at 3 o'clock in the morning in Virgo. And so this is about our health and fitness, our connection to the feminine, to do our internal work. That is Virgo, the feminine doing the internal work to create a better reality on the outside. You go in to create out. And so that's what this is about. All right. Peace and blessings, y'all. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.